Welcome back. This is National Geographic Weekend. I'm Boyd Mattson. You may have heard of that great period in world history known as the Dark Ages. When we look at it as a time when there wasn't much going on in the way of learning or intellectual curiosity, but while the lights were out in much of the world, there was a place where the lights were on. In the Muslim civilization. And there is a book out now published by National Geographic, I think this is the 3rd edition, called 1001 Inventions, the Enduring Legacy of the Muslim Civilization, much of it happening when the rest of the world had the lights out in the Dark Ages. Salim Al-Hassani is the author of the book, or he's the chief editor. He joins us now. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Welcome, and thanks for this opportunity to talk to you, Boyd.
I tell you what got my attention, one of the first things was there was a place actually known as the House of Wisdom, where scholars from all over came to study, and this was in Baghdad, correct?
Yes, indeed. First of all, I'd like to explain that 1001 Inventions to say that, look here, the humanity at that time, which stretched from China to Spain, was actually effectively ruled by the Muslims, and humanity had produced a lot of inventions at that time, which seemed to be absent in our mind, particularly in our school curricula. Somehow we find space to include the Greeks, but we neglect the Chinese, the Indians, and the Muslims, unfortunately.
One of the difficulties with that part of the world, the Muslim part of the world, primarily today, is that there is not a lot in the way of patents or new inventions or even books being published other than religious texts out of that area.
I hope that this book and the coming exhibition, which is going around the world, will inspire young people from that part of the world to realize that they actually have a stake in the present civilization.
We're talking with Professor Salim Al-Hassani, who is the chief editor of the book 1001 Inventions, the Enduring Legacy of the Muslim Civilization. So since it's called Inventions, why don't we talk about a couple? And one that got my attention was the camera obscura. It was really a discovery that was the precursor to the modern photography, cameras, video, and still cameras. More than that, it was an understanding of how the eye worked, because there had been a thought that perhaps eyes sent out rays that allowed people to see, and didn't understand that the light was coming in and being absorbed and interpreted by the iris. And it was discovered by a guy who was in prison at that point.
He was, actually. Originally, he was from Basra, south of Iraq. He was picked up by the Egyptian ruler at the time and brought him in as an expert to see if he could set up a dam on River Nile. However, he decided not to go ahead, and then he was put in a house arrest. And of course, during that time, he had enough time to contemplate that light travel in straight lines, that the way we see is actually a reflection of the light from the objects that goes into our eyes, and began to postulate how the eye actually works, which is what very much like the camera obscura that later was named as such, because in Arabic sometimes they call a dark room a kamara.
Another invention, a clock known as the elephant clock, and it was called an elephant clock because it was designed with an elephant.
Yes, this is a fascinating piece of invention. It looks like an elephant with a castle on top, but the main feature of this is that it contains 5 cultures. He had wanted to recognize the contributions of the Chinese by using dragons as a part of the moving parts, and then he used an elephant to recognize the Indians. He used Arab Muslim automata like robots that move around and tell the time, and used the Greek Archimedes principles on the belly of the bottom of the elephant, and then he used a Persian Afghan carpet to recognize the Persian contribution. So really, we'd like to call it the clock of civilizations, a fascinating way of recognizing the contributions of all humanity into our engineering and inventions in science.
It's like one of those Rube Goldberg type designs where it does a lot of different things. So it's an incredible invention. The book is full of ideas like that, but broader ideas, broader concepts of learning that were established during the Muslim civilization. You can read about it, 1001 Inventions. Salim Al-Hassani, the chief editor of the book, and also it's touring around the United States at the moment. So if you see this exhibit is in your area, check it out. Be coming to the Geographic later as well. Thanks for giving just a glimpse of what's in the book to us today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Boyd.